Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu tadasana ma karma phalhetu ma te sango savikarmani Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu tadasana ma karma phalhetu ma te sango savikarmani. Namaste and welcome to Space of Love. This mantra that I sang just now is one of my most favorite of mantras because simply of what it means. And I'll read you the meaning of it. So it's Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal heturgu ma te sango savikarmani. And means we have the right to karma, we have the right to our actions, but never to any of the fruits of those actions. We must never be motivated by the results of our actions, nor should there be any attachment in not doing our work. I love that. And it's a core philosophy that I try to live by, even when I falter, especially when I falter, to remind myself that my work here is to do the work that I have to do and remain completely detached to the outcome of that work so that I can really be in the present and enjoy the journey. And this is the type of thing we like talking about here at Space of Love. Thank you for being part of this mini course that you're taking. It's really allowing us an opportunity to show you what we offer, and the types of things that we discuss in our retreats and our workshops in more detail. So this Dharma discussion is what we call these. It's something that I'm very passionate about, both Stephanie and I. And we know that there's so many important things in life that a lot of us don't get a chance to actually dialogue about in the right space. So this is what we do. A little bit about myself, just to give you a bit of a background. I'm an electrical engineer by education, so I come from a very science background, but I'm also very spiritual. And I know that there's actually two dualities in this world right now: those who reject science and are all about esoteric things, and those who are all about science and need the math and the numbers to see and believe something. And of course, there's people that believe in both. And here at Space of Love, it's very important for us to find a balance between the marriage of science and spirituality. You'll hear me bring up Albert Einstein a lot because he's somebody that I really admire, because he really got it. This is a man who spent his entire life trying to use science to prove God. He believed in God, and he just wanted to simply show how God works or has worked. And that's what he did. Is by way of equations, try to make sense of the miracle. We call it miracle. We're people who are actually spiritual are put in this box of believing in esoteric, untangible things. Whereas if you think about it, all science is a method to explain the uncertain or the unknown. And this is, we're just in a moment in time. Not long ago, we believed that the earth was flat, and it was science that proved us wrong. So the thought that the earth was round at one point was maybe considered spiritual thinking. So science is just literally just trying its best to try and make sense of these miracles or the way the universe works, to make it palpable. And that's why we try to do that. We have these Dharma discussions to try and make some sense of how the world and universe works, why it works that way, and how it relates and resonates with our being and our life. So why do I call them Dharma discussions? Why are we calling these Dharma drops and Dharma discussions? What does Dharma even mean? And we have videos and content about this, but just to recap, Dharma is actually a way to describe something's natural way of being, or its natural instinct. So for example, the dharma of the sun is to burn, is to shine, is to provide heat. The dharma of a tree is to stay rooted, to stay grounded. And one of the things we teach in our workshops is that everything's dharma, or everything's natural way of being, is to be in service to the universe, to something or someone or a being. It's to be in service. In the case of the sun, it's being in service to us. Its dharma is to provide sunlight and heat for us. Similarly, we each human beings have our own dharmas as well. So do ants, and so do animals and plants. But speaking about ourselves, each one of us has our natural tendency of being a certain way. And if we dive into this subject matter, it actually helps us figure out what our purpose in life is. What is it that we are here to accomplish? And this is something that all of us are on a quest to figure out. So many of us feel like we're lost or trying to find ourselves. And that's because we don't quite understand, or we don't have the language to describe what it is our true nature is. And because once we understand that, it's very easy to see the type of karma, the work that we have to do to align to that natural way of being, and to in turn invite abundance. So these dharma discussions are about talking about the natural tendencies of the universe, and I'll give you a few of the types of subjects that we dive into. We talk about resonance and how the physical phenomenon of resonance, how that works in our lives, how frequencies and physical, the way the atoms vibrate, understanding the science about this, and how that leads to manifesting the things that appear in our lives, whether it's a jealous partner, or whether it's a promotion, or whether it's winning the lottery, or whether it's an ailment. These are all a result of the physical phenomenon of resonance, and we talk about that. Another subject we talk about is this duality of certainty and uncertainty, or let's say the illusion of certainty. To understand that actually uncertainty is what we are in constantly. Bringing it back to Albert Einstein, he says that all of us are just merely vibrations waiting to manifest into some form of matter that we can understand. So, just literally understanding that concept helps us make sense of what it is and how it is that we manifest the things we manifest in our lives. It takes us away from a place of being a victim, and actually understand that we have the power to change our lives, to actually create the scenario that we're in. We live in a society in the West where we are touch deprived. And now with this advent of COVID, ever since it started, we're supposed to even distance ourselves even more, which is actually in contradiction to our dharma. Our natural way of being is to actually feel physical affection and share physical affection. So just this idea of touch and feel is something that we don't really talk about in our society. We do in our dharma discussions. This simple concept of saying the words "I love you" comes with so many layers in our society, so many assumptions and extrapolations. When someone says "I love you" in a certain way, what do they mean? Is it romantic? Is it platonic? Do we use a green heart in our text? Do we use a red heart? What does it mean? Why are we perceiving these different colors hearts in the way we do? What is it how does fear work in our systems that prohibit us from sharing our expression of love towards another being? What's going on in our systems? We talk about those things in our dharma discussions as well. At Space of Love, we are students of nature. We are devotees of nature. We are students of plants and trees and beings and ants. And we believe in biomimicry. We believe in the idea that nature is our guide, is our teacher, is our encyclopedia, is our Google, much more powerful Google than Google will ever be. If we ever want to seek answers for questions we have, whether it's a project at work or how to solve a problem in a relationship, nature is the way for us. This is what we believe in. This is what we teach in our workshops, and give you examples of how to study nature and why to study nature to solve our problems. We see that nature is full of wisdom. Wisdom is something we also talk about. We contrast that with the concept of intelligence. What is the difference between intelligence and wisdom? What would you prefer to have? To be super intelligent or to be wise? Is there a difference? We talk about things like that. I think these are subjects that in society normally we don't have a chance to talk about, because generally we are afraid of opinions, judgments, and this is where Space of Love comes in. We create a space where people's opinions are loved and respected, and we understand that it takes all kinds to make the universe complete, that there's no such thing as an insignificant opinion or thought, because it's actually, even that thought that I may conflict with is a creation of the universe and actually has a purpose and its own dharma. So bringing it back to dharma discussions, this is a very integral part of our offerings. It allows us as a community to explore things that we know we want to explore and just don't have the opportunity to. Thank you for being part of this. Please know that you can reach out to either Stephanie or myself or anyone in our Lovers Lounge to connect with, to grow further. Each one of us has beautiful things that we offer. For your time today, I thank you, I love you, and keep asking questions.